Hello there, this is Dale Carson, attorney in Jacksonville, Florida. Some of you all know me because you subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook, and I wanted to chat with you about something that people don't know much about in the state of Florida, and I do. And it is interception of electronic communications. Okay, now that's a big word for recording your phone calls. In the state of Florida, it is a two-party consent state, which means that in order to record a conversation, all the parties to the phone conversation have to agree that it's to be recorded. If this doesn't happen and somebody records your phone call, that is a violation of state law, and it's punishable as a third-degree felony by up to 5 years. Now, that's not really what I want to talk to you about. You shouldn't be recording other phone calls, or people shouldn't be recording yours in the state of Florida without your expressed authorization. But if someone is doing that, and this happens in domestic cases where somebody hides a phone in your room and they record activity, or they videotape you doing something extraordinary, and we won't go into what that might mean, but if they record particularly the audio portion of that, and it is done surreptitiously so that you can't obviously see that you're being recorded, you have a right of a civil action. And it's not a minor right. People are really unaware of this. So one of the first things you want to do is, if you find somebody's been recording your phone calls, your information, your privacy is being invaded by someone, you need to call me, okay? There's a specific provision in Florida law that allows you to win a minimum of $1,000 for someone, against someone who did this to you, plus attorney's fees. Now, there's a 2-year statute of limitations, so if you don't do it within 2 years, you can't bring the action. But if somebody's doing this to you, and oftentimes this happens in a way that they're trying to cause you to do something you might otherwise be disinclined to do, that's called extortion, right? You and I are friends. I say something that's not particularly favorable about you to someone else. They record the conversation and give it to you. Everybody involved in that transfer of data is in violation. So the person who records it is in violation. The person who listens to it is in violation. I mean, it's a really protective law that is designed by the state of Florida to protect you from having your privacy invaded by someone and it used against you in the future, which obviously, if they're recording your phone conversations, recording something you said, the intention almost certainly has to be to use it against you at some point. And it's done in domestic situations, romantic situations, business situations, but it is hugely illegal. And they do prosecute these cases. But again, there's a criminal component to this, but that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is the civil remedy that you have as a victim of an electronic monitoring of your private conversations. If you have questions about this, if something has happened to you that's similar to this, call me. Maybe you have a civil case that you can bring against a corporation. I mean, they get fined $100 a day and a minimum of $1,000 per incident. So there can be a recovery for civil action that you would bring against a corporation or another business entity. Obviously, you can't sue Doofus, who has a bicycle, who records your phone call. That's not going to be helpful because he's not going to have the $1,000. But there are people who do this. They do it almost for a living. And another thing, when you're on the phone and people say, this phone call may be monitored for training purposes, you should immediately say, if this phone call is being recorded for training purposes, I refuse to allow you to monitor this conversation. Because you are clearly saying, I don't want my conversation monitored. And just for those among us who are geeks, 934.10 is the Florida state statute that deals with these civil remedies. If you have questions or concerns related to this or other legal matters, don't hesitate to call us here at Dale Carson Law, www.dalecarsonlaw.com, or you can call us at 904-355-6777. I look forward to chatting with you again.